That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Twitch Plays D&D. Now, first things first, I do have a game intro.
Welcome.
Not this one. Where is it? I have a work in progress intro. Okay, I made a work in progress intro video. It's not this one. That is this one. Now it's being edited. It's not finished yet. So I've had to put in a...
Under a tiny world will take a person only a matter of weeks to travel from one side to the other. Once a lush, verdant planet, Rixonder's rain had stopped falling. What had stopped it? And how? Was this something to do with the warring empires Was it a new unknown threat? Or perhaps it was the new major tech and steam-powered technology from the Hochstan Matriarchy or Kosu Sevrenti. Long ago, the world was treated as an experiment by the gods. They were trying to discover the most powerful species they could make. Just a fun game for them became our world as we know it, in the finals of the Kraven Trials. Humans faced off against Noms. The humans won. In a final test, the gods pitted the humans against the dragons. The dragons tore the world apart, destroying any semblance of society. Now, after 1,000 years, the mans have rebuilt. Two great kingdoms, constantly at war, and between them, the last forest. The only place of green in our dying world. And inside that forest, the last Nom. My name is Gary, and this is my story.
My name is Gary, and this is my story. All right, here we go again. Let me just check all this stuff is working. It isn't. Great. All right. Just checking all of my bits and bobs are set up here, which it looks like they are not. What makes this more difficult is I'm now like doing this double thing where it's putting a horizontal output to Twitch and YouTube and a vertical output to TikTok, but you have to basically make two full different screens essentially. I was a bit up against it this morning. I was a bit up against it this morning. I had a few things to get done. I didn't do anything yesterday. I think I've been unwell. I think I had an illness for the last 3 days. Like I felt kind of tired on Friday. I didn't feel right at all. Didn't feel right on Thursday. Felt worse on Friday. Felt dreadful yesterday. Feel a bit better today. I think I've been a bit unwell. I didn't have a lot of time to prep up some of this stuff as we continue with the story of the legend of Gary. The legend of Gary. So I had to put in like a sort of it's a work in progress. A temporary video file while I was editing the intro for Gary, and I was like, I don't have any visuals, but I have the audio, so it ended up being Final Fantasy VII. Let's continue with the legend of Gary.
Under a tiny world will take a person only a matter of weeks to travel from one side to the other. Once a lush, verdant planet, Rixander's rain had stopped falling. What had stopped it? And how? Was this something to do with the warring empires? Was it a new unknown threat? Or perhaps it was the new major tech and steam-powered technology from the Hochstan Matriarchy or Kosu Sevrenti. Long ago, the world was treated as an experiment by the gods. They were trying to discover the most powerful species they could make. Just a fun game for them became our world as we know it, in the finals of the Kraven Trials. Humans faced off against Noms. The humans won. In a final test, the gods pitted the humans against the dragons. The dragons tore the world apart, destroying any semblance of society. Now, after 1,000 years, the mans have rebuilt. Two great kingdoms, constantly at war, and between them, the last forest, the only place of green in our dying world. And inside that forest, the last Num. My name is Gary, and this is my story.
Now, when we last left Gary, he was cursed to be hated by all cats. These are the notes I took. He was... Oh, you know what else I've got for you? This piece of artwork. Drawn by hand. And not by AI. Of Gary in death. Twitch plays D&D. Right, let's carry on. We've got... we procedurally generated an entire world. And we created the world in which Gary lives, Rexundar. We discovered that Gary must go west to the Hutchton Matriarchy. He is Muad'Dib. He is Lisan al Gaib. He must destroy the Magitech factories in order to save the world. Gary encountered Dave, a pseudo-dragon, the destroyer of men, and killed him. However, this pissed off his friend Barry, who left. Gary discovered that Rindor the Calm, a white dragon, lives in the swamp in the forest. Gary then encountered Kobold Seg, two kobolds, Seg and Zerti. He convinced them to join him, and they travelled the wrong direction. They went in the wrong direction and headed to... Last week was a hell of a lot of really bad rolls. Hold on, let me just ban this person forever. They've made so many new accounts, it's unbelievable, and they keep ban evading, and it's really annoying. I wish we could IP ban on YouTube. Lots of Nat 1 rolls last week. Gary encountered the Zolom, the giant snake of the swamp, after heading the wrong direction. The snake destroyed and ate Zerti, and then a bullywug appeared, a frog person, and while Seg was fighting, Gary was killed. Gary then travelled into Undeath and met with Death. Gary then, with I think a natural 20, made Death fall in love with him. Death said that he's going to send Gary back to the land of the living. And I think the first thing we should do is level up Gary. Because Gary is level 1. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give him 300 XP and make him level 2, because he is literally just unable to survive. Now, how do you do the level up thing? Is it in this? Level 1 character Mansa. Is it this one or this one? I never use the character Mansa, so I never know how it works. Is this one? Yeah. Level up. Level 1 plus 1 level to level 2. Roll HP 1. Oh dear. Gary gets 1 HP added. Now we pick the Druid Circle, which is Dreams, Spores, Stars, Wildfire, Land, Moon, or Shepherd. Boy, I wish I had print screen that. Alright. Let's do that. We'll let you druid subclass. This is a druid of dreams, a druid of spores, stars, wildfire, land, moon, or shepherd are your options. I don't know what any of those things mean. This is the first vote of the day. The choice is yours to vote on in the chat. Will Gary become a druid of dreams, a druid of spores, stars, wildfire, land, moon, shepherd? I genuinely have no idea what any of them mean. Go with your heart, go with your gut, go with your soul. While we're playing today, you can spin a wheel in order to justify the amount of effort that goes into making this bloody stream every Sunday. You can spin the wheel. Spinning the wheel activates after 10 gift subs, just like that one, or resubs. Why can't I see any of them? Ratch and Nirorarin. Messed your name up. 41 month. Thank you very much, my friend. Nero. Once we hit 10, we spin the wheel. There is a random set of effects that can happen. An encounter, a potion, an item, a magical item, a boss battle. The next roll being a natural 20, the next roll being a 1, a trap, a teleport, 25% XP instantly, wild magic, apply a condition, apply a curse, a Deus Ex Machina happens, full heal, or recover all of Gary's spells is what will happen there. Thank you, Shadow. Thank you, Insta Rage. It looks like we're going Circle of Dreams Druid here. Thank you, Chen. It looks as though we're going Circle of Dreams. Subclass Balm of the Summer Court. Let's read what Circle of Dreams does. Nayana, thank you very much. I don't do naps because I don't sleep. I don't dream because I don't sleep. I'm always awake so no one can ever sneak up on me. If I dreamed, there would be bigger dreams than yours though, because my head is bigger. From Xanathar. Druids who are members of the Circle of Dreams hail from regions that have strong ties to the Feywild and its dreamlike realms. The Druid's guardianship of the natural world makes for a natural alliance between them and good aligned Fey. These Druids seek to fill the world with the dreamy wonder. Their magic mends wounds and brings joy to the downcast hearts, and the realms they protect are gleaming, fruitful places where dream and reality blur together and where the weary can find rest. Circle of Dreams features. Level 2, you get Balm of the Summer Court. At second level, you become imbued with the blessings of the Summer Court. You are a font of energy that offers respite from injuries. Damn, Oberon, spinning the wheel. Here we go. The first wheel spin of the day. Still haven't changed that noise, have I? Do you want me to do that now? What is that? Why can't I see what that is? Why doesn't it tell us? Oh, it was an encounter. I can see why now. Hold on. What is that thing? Oh, there it is. Got it. Alright, you're just not going to be able to see it on TikTok, I guess. It was an encounter. Immediately got an encounter. Spin it again. Cries Hazel. Please. What does that say? Potion. I can't read it anymore. It's really annoying. Will it tell me in here? No. A potion. Okay. Now I have to start the bot up. Give me a second. We've got to start up the bot so that we can start playing properly. Dice bot. Alright, it's time to roll a d20, everyone. Exclamation point, roll d20 in the chat, and it will roll your dice. Now, we'll take the first option today, but after that we always take the second one. And we will give Gary. Gary will return with a potion in his pocket. Let's see how we do. Oxmot, thank you for the resub. Thanks for the 78 months. The winning roll is a 5. Okay. This is a potion of Detect Thoughts. Which we'll have to get to in a minute because I can't access Gary's stuff. Alright. Let's continue reading what this does. You are a font of energy that offers respite from injuries. You have a pool of Fey energy represented by a number of D6s equal to your druid level. As a bonus action, you can choose. You finally have bonus actions. You can choose one creature you can see within 120 feet of you and spend a number of those dice equal to half your druid level or less. Roll the spent dice and add them together. The target regains a number of hit points equal to the total. The target also gains 1 temporary hit point per die spent. Okay, so it's a healing thing. Okay. You now can wild shape. Starting at second level, you can use your action to magically assume the shape of a beast that you have seen before. You can use this feature twice. You regain expended uses when you finish a short or long rest. Now this is going to be something crazy. Let's do all of this. Oh, you get spells, of course. So what's to do? You can add 3 new cantrips. Add 3 new spells. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Perfect. Roll it. It's time to roll 3 d20s. And you know what? We're just going to go ahead and take the first 3 numbers that come out. These will be the spells that you get. We'll take the first 3 that come out. Do I have any mods in here today? Game is now going to get crunchy as we enter real D&D. 17 is the first one. 20, 19, 18, 17. Ice knife. Keep rolling. 2 more. Gary will come back stronger and weaker. He's also slightly weaker, right? He lost an ability point. a 13. So that's 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. Fairy fire. Okay. And the last one. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. Never stop until I say stop. Exclamation point, roll RD, roll D20 in the chat. You confused me so much, Hazel. Roll D20 in the chat, and it will roll a dice. And it will pick one at random from all of the dice rolls. That is what the dice roll that we're taking for Gary is. And a 20, Beast Bond. Okay. Fairy Fire is your first spell. One action. Concentration. Each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue, green, or violet light. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is outlined in light as if it fails a dexterity saving throw. For the duration, object and affected creatures shed dim light. Any attack roll against an affected creature has advantage. That's what that does. Ice Knife is your next spell. One creature, you create a shard of ice and fling it at a creature within range. On a hit, the target takes 1d10 piercing damage. Hit or miss, the shard then explodes. The target and each creature within 5 foot must make a dex saving throw or take 2d6 cold damage. And Beast Bond is your final one. One beast you touch that is friendly to you or charmed by you. You establish a telepathic link with one beast you touch that is friendly to you or charmed by you. The spell fails if the beast's intelligence is 4 or higher. Until the spell ends, the link is active while you and the beast are within line of sight of each other. Through the link, the beast can understand your telepathic messages to it, and it can telepathically communicate simple emotions and concepts back to you. While the link is active, the beast gains advantage on attack rolls against any creature within 5 feet of you that you can see. You now have those spells, and you are now able to transform into animals. You can stop rolling the dice, by the way. We only needed 3 of them. So here is Gary's new sheet. Here's Death's Blessing. Gary always starts with 1 success on his death saving throws. He has a potion, and the potion is of Detect Thoughts. Potion of Detect Thoughts, which casts Detect Thoughts, which is a spell. Detect Thoughts is that you can read the thoughts of certain creatures when you cast a spell. Okay. I think it's time to begin. Now, last time Gary visited and entreated with death. Gary was told that his time was not yet, that he had work yet to be done. And while Death and Gary are in love with one another, Death cast Gary out from his realm and sent Gary tumbling back to Earth. Gary falling through the Bifrost, basically. The Bifrost opens up. The Bifrost opens up. And Gary is sent tumbling, flying through this realm. He sees events pass him by. He sees Martin Luther King. He sees the invention of Magitech in the Hutchton matriarchy. He sees the humans and the gnomes fighting one another, and then Gary lands in the swamp. Scrambling and swimming, trying to figure out where he is. He swims upwards. And Gary is swimming around in this swamp. I guess the first thing we need to do here, really, is create a new swamp layer. We'll call this Swamp 2. Now in Swamp 2, we want to add a swamp for Gary. Well, Gary has landed in the swamp, and in a murky area of the swamp, we see him. Gary. I think he sort of writes himself upright and then manages to figure out where he is. And that is when, of course, immediately something attacks because you rolled for a random encounter. Didn't you? Random encounter generator, please. Here we go. One PC of level 2 in the swamp. A D10 will be rolled. 1D10. A 6, a bullywug, attacks him. Which I think we have. There he is. Now, a bullywug is a frog person. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to roll initiative. Exclamation point, roll D20 in the chat for the initiatives. We take the second roll every time from now on. Let's roll for the bullywug. A 7. Swimming towards Gary suddenly, splashing, is a frog person with a spear in his hands, swimming towards him. Rib, 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 rib. That's my impression of. Do you remember in Star Fox? Got there eventually. That's the delay on my brain today. I really did not feel well enough to do this today, by the way, so I hope you're enjoying this. I don't feel very good, and my brain is very brain foggy. Brain froggy, you should say, with the bullywug. So I hope you're enjoying this, because I was like, I don't think I have the strength to do this today, but I was like, God damn it, no. The chat have spoken. I must do this for them, because I know how much you guys enjoy The Legend of Gary, and I don't. So we have until my painkillers wear off. We have until, you know what, I need to take some more. Until this wears off. Streamer takes drugs live on stream.
All right. I'm alive again.
Okay, bullywug, swimming towards you, spear in hand.
Rib, 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 rib.
Really? What we need is...
Rib, 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 rib. Rib, 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 rib. Rib, 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 rib.
Swimming towards Gary. What was the number rolled? Have we got a second one yet? No, keep rolling. Exclamation point, roll D20. Who wants to be a temporary mod for the day? Toodle? Someone I can fucking trust? Gabriel? Well done, Gabe. I know you're already kind of a mod, but I'm giving you mods so I can see when you write stuff. You're in charge of, if I miss a roll, tell me. Oh, you rolled a 20. Okay. So, Gary. His initiative is +1. So he's got 21. Gary spots the bullywug swimming towards him.
Rib, 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 rib.
And now it's time. Now remember, let's have a quick look again. And we'll have to I'd have to update the character sheet actually. You have more spells than you had previously. You have Purify Food and Drink. You have Thunder Wave, Fairy Fire, Ice Knife, Beast Bond, and Find Familiar. These are the spells you have. You also have a Whip. You have Thorn Whip. You have a Quarterstaff in hand. You have all the actions. You can wild shape into creatures that Gary has seen before. So it's time, once again, to ask the question. What does Gary do? Cast Thunder Wave. Gary is currently 25 feet away from the bullywug. Swim away. Cast Ice Knife. Punch the frog. Wild shape into a bear. Good choice, Gabriel, because we do know that Gary has seen a bear before. It might be the only thing he can wild shape into. I don't know. I can't remember the rules on wild shape, but you can only wild shape into a certain CR rating. What does Fairy Fire do? Fairy Fire means that it will, you sort of paint the target, is what it is. You know in games when you can mark a target? That's essentially what it does. It covers the bullywug in light and gives you advantage on attack rolls to hit the bullywug. It's a buff. Let's try cast Fairy Fire. Remember, you only have a certain amount of spell slots. You can only cast a certain amount of spells per day. For Gary, the amount of spells he can cast is 3 times before he needs a rest. You have 3 mana. Dive down and hope it leaves. Alright, we'll go with that. The choice is yours. What does Gary do? Thunder Wave, Swim Away, Ice Knife, Punch the Frog, Wild Shape into a Bear, Cast Fairy Fire. Now let's look up Druid 5e. Beast shapes. At second level, you can turn into stuff that is CR of 1/4. Beasts that are a CR of 1/4. I'll find that list for you soon enough. I think I can just do... I think I can just put... One-quarter beast. There's no way an Allosaurus is 1/4. Oh, 1/4 to 1/4. Oh wait, 0 to 1/4. Hold on. I know you can't see what I'm doing right now. Alright. I have now the list of things that are possible for Gary to wild shape into. And I don't think bear is in there. Wild shape into a bear is what you've chosen for Gary to do. Alright. Now, let's have a look at. Don't forget to remind TikTok and YouTube viewers that only they'll figure it out. Here are the options. You can turn into an axe beak, a boar, a constrictor snake, a draft horse, an elk, a giant badger, a giant bat, a giant centipede, a giant frog, a giant lizard, a giant owl, poisonous snake, giant wolf, spider, panther, pteranodon, riding horse, swarm of bats, swarm of ravens, a wolf. Okay, so I'm gonna go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, I don't think he would turn in. I don't think you can turn into a swarm. Oh, maybe we can. 19, 20. That's 20. You know what? If we take out the giant lizard variant, there's 20 there. Go. Gary attempts to turn into a monster. He tries to turn into a bear, summoning all of his divine energy. It's not divine. Summoning all of his arcane energy. Like fucking Godzilla charging up. Someone get me the Godzilla charging up sound effect. Godzilla charge up sound effect. That's what it sounds like when Gary uses his wild shape. What did you roll? What number? Remember, we take the second number every time. To bear with me while I'm doing this kind of thing. It takes a little while. The winning roll is a 4. That looks like a 4 to me. Okay. I'll be back on this screen. 1, 2, 3. He's turning into a draft horse. He's like, I know what I can do now. I understand my full power. It is time to turn into a bear. His body begins transforming. He summons up the energy and transforms into a draft horse. I want you to understand something about this. A draft horse is a horse that's designed purely to pull carts. He's turned into a BoJack Horseman. The draft horse, okay, is what he's turned into. This is what he can wild shape into at the moment. A draft horse. Suddenly, he turns into a draft horse. Now, while you are wild shaped, let's read through what you can do. A druid. Whilst wild shaped. He's transformed into... Okay, you can stay in beast shape for a number of hours equal to half your druid level rounded down. While you are transformed, Your game statistics are replaced by the statistics of the beast, but you retain your alignment, personality, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma scores. You also retain all of your skill and saving throw proficiencies, in addition to gaining those of the creature. When you transform, you assume the beast's hit points and hit dice. When you revert to your normal form, you return to the number of hit points you had before you transformed. However, if you revert as a result of dropping to 0, any excess damage carries over. You can't cast spells, and your ability to speak or take actions requires limited abilities capable of your beast form. You retain the benefit of any features from your race, so dark vision. You choose whether to equipment changes with you. So basically, you have turned into a horse. So for all intents and purposes, you are now only this horse, with Gary's mind intact. Now, the draft horse can move at a speed of 40 feet, very quick, and it can use its hooves, which do 2d4 plus 4 damage. It's time once again to ask the question. In this combat with this bullywug, what does Gary do now that he is transformed into a horse? Run away. Bite. Any other options? You have the option of kick him with hooves. Yep, the horse turns around and attempts to kick him. Give him the hooves, kick it, attack. Any other options? Let's have a look at YouTube chat. There was an option in the previous one to eat an egg or banana later if you're still lightheaded. That's not a suggestion. It was just someone telling me to eat an egg. All right, I think this is it then, is it? Okay. Run away, bite, kick bullywug with hooves. Remember, you can spin the wheel as well. On the wheel, there are varying things that might help you in combat. Potion, an item. Next roll being a 20. You could teleport. You could apply conditions. You could full heal, recover spells, etc. But right now, you are transformed as a horse. How will you attack this bullywug? Level 2 Gary. We have got ourselves a level 2 Gary. We need to recreate the spell sheet as well. Spell sheet level 2. And then also we need the updated character sheet, don't we? Let me do those real quick while you guys vote on what we're going to have Gary do next. Just put this in. Fucked everything up. Oh, fucked everything up so badly, it's unreal. I've got the update. I've updated Photoshop and I don't know how to use it anymore. It's literally just like coming up with all sorts of stuff every time I click things now, and I don't understand. Oh my god. I don't know how to use it. It's so confusing. Kicking with the hooves is the plan. Okay, let's see how this works out for us. Everyone start rolling d20s as you make your attack roll. So with his movement, Gary moves over to the bullywug. The horse kind of running through the water. I would say the water here is low enough that the horse can just rush through the water. And we're going to try and kick. Now, this is a +6 to your roll to kick the bullywug. We take the second roll while I continue to try and figure out. Why is it always constraining? My crop. How do I turn constrain crop off in Photoshop now? Wow, this is so annoying. Crop shield? No. What the hell is all this new stuff, man? Wow, the most annoying thing. Anyone updated Photoshop recently and know why it's all... I can't adjust the crop. What do we got? What's happening? Where is everybody today? No one's here, are they? We haven't got enough people to roll the dice. Is this it? That was what we want? You did 2 sessions of D&D and now you don't want to play it anymore? Top of Photoshop on the left, click clear. What did that... What even was that? Could be it. We should have just let him die last week, huh? Alright, export as PNG, Gary, sheet level 2. Okay, we've got it. This is the final episode. Let's see what he can do. Have you rolled it? Is it that 9? A 9. +6 is a 15. The bullywug has an AC of 15, makes it, breaks it. You are successful in hitting the bullywug. Let's do damage. Hooves. 7 bludgeoning damage. This obliterates this bullywug. The bullywug is swimming towards Gary. Gary turns into a horse, gallops forward. The bullywug looks up and goes, rib, da, da, rib, rib. And then it does the exact thing that it does in Red Dead Redemption, where the horse turns around really quickly and goes, doof. And the bullywug goes, hits the ground, splashes into the water, and is massively devastated and is down to 4 HP. Gary does have a bonus action now, but I think it's the Balm of the Summer Court. You become imbued with the blessings of the Summer Court. You are a font of energy that offers you have a full of energy that will heal people, which there's no point in doing. You're at full health. So it's the bullywug's turn. The bullywug is going to attempt to attack Gary with its spear. Gary, natural 20. Of course. It only does 3 damage. The bullywug is all messed up and it kind of like wildly strikes with the spear. The huge horse form of Gary now is cut open, but it's nothing. The horse feels no pain as Gary. We move into another. What does Gary do? I'm going to leave Runaway, Bite, and Kick Bullywug again up there.
Finish him.
Yeah, the Bullywug is standing there going. And it comes up on the screen.
Finish him. Fatality.
Any other creative options we'll add in. If you have any ideas, now is the time. While I knock it over and pin it down. So grapple it with a horse hooves. Non-lethal kick. Winnie to demonstrate dominance. Lay on it to drown it. Alright. I think you guys are done. I'll let you vote now. Alright, Gary, spell sheet, level sheet 2. While I update the chat bot for the Gary character sheet. And then spell sheet. For level 2 Gary, so that should be updated now. He's doing 1,000 things. His brain doesn't work. But he's trying. You can try and kill it. We're going to kill the Bullywug. Let's see. Roll. Time to roll your attack roll, please. You have a +6 to hit. We take the second roll. We take the second roll. The first week of Twitch Plays D&D, we had like 400 viewers. And now we have 100. I don't understand this website anymore. What do you want from me? How do we figure this out? It's a holiday in the US. It's a Sunday. Is it not Sunday today? It's always a holiday. Keep rolling. Have we even had one yet? Do we have to take the first roll today? It's Retrosphere's birthday. Why are you permitting me, Gabriel? What's happening? We have to take the sword back. It's a 4. Okay. That was the second roll. Alright. This is a 4, so you have a +6. This is a 10. This is a miss. You go to kick. And the Bullywug this time dips backwards like this. And the hooves go over its head. Okay. Now, I don't think you can do this move. Actually, I think you can. This is not a spell. Can you use abilities? Where is it? The druid. I think you can actually use this ability. Okay. So I think what I'll do for bonus actions, you have Balm of the Summer Court, which will heal you potentially. You have 2 of these to heal with. So I think what we do is we just do this. Use Balm of the Summer Court. You have 2 of these left. You can heal, and it's a D6, I think, or a D8. For bonus actions, I will simply just list the bonus actions that you can possibly do, and then you can vote on them that way. No. A solid no. 100% vote for no. Okay. There's something in my eye, man. Alright. Bullywug's turn. Gonna try and spear you again. A 17. The horse's AC is 10. This hits. For 5 piercing damage. Taking you down to 11 HP. It is time to spin the wheel. Just before your turn begins. What does that say? My god, I can't read it. Oh, a Deus Ex. A Deus Ex Machina is going to happen here. The Bullywug fucking explodes. His eyes bulge up. And then it... Gore, blood, guts. Everywhere. The horse covered in it. You gain 50 XP. $350 XP. Now, what are the XP levels D&D? You need 900 to get to level 3. The sound ricochets through the swamp. In the distance, you hear sudden movement. What was that noise? You hear the sounds of civilization coming from one of the directions. One of the possible directions that there are. One of the 5 possible directions that one can go. You hear people. In one of the other 5 possible directions, you see a structure or something like that. Other than that, you seem to be surrounded by swamp, completely unaware of which way is which. No idea where west is. What does Gary do? Go west is always an option. Loot the body. Eat some odd fruit. Oh no, that's not. You're just saying Gabriel's just doing German things. Go to the sound. Go into swamp to look for Seg, the kobold that you found. Hello, what's happening? Let's see if you can figure it out. Let's see if you can figure it out, Krev. I believe in you. Change back into gnome form. Hikir, the only person playing today. There's also a structure nearby. I'll give you investigate structure. Alright, the choice is yours. I'm going to see if I can get this thing out of my eyeball. Got it. There was an eyelash in there and it was fucking annoying. Please, I have no idea what's happening. Well, it's in the title. Change back into gnome and then investigate the structure is what you're going to do. Okay. Gary turns back into gnome form. Gary turns back into gnome form and heads towards the structure that he sees nearby. Get an investigation check, please. Exclamation point roll D20 in the chat room. You take the second roll. Gary has a +2 to his investigation. Checks. There was an eyelash in my eyeball. The first one is a 1. Keep going. We take the second roll. Oh, that was the 1. Okay. Gary walks up to what he thinks is a structure and recognizes something else. It's not a structure. It's a tree. The top end of the tree has been tapered off to a point like an enormous spear. Curled around the tree and impaled upon the top of it is the enormous snake that tried to kill Gary. Gary says, "Let Seg do this." It's hard to tell. Gary looks over this thing and simply cannot for the life of him figure out what has happened here. What does Gary do next? Suggestions. What does Gary do now? Go west. Cut off pieces of the snake, steak. Pull out for Seg. Burn a tree down. Well, you've already investigated to see how it got up there and you got a natural 1. You can no longer determine anything about it. Listen to surroundings. Check surroundings. It's kind of the same thing. I won't confuse you all by splitting that vote that way. He's at full health. Walk to a small critter. Climb up the snake. What does Gary do now? Let's see. Cut off pieces of the snake for steak. All right. Gary goes over to the enormous snake. Give me a survival check. We take the second roll. This is a +3 you have to this roll. At the second roll. Exclamation point roll d20 in the chat. You can also look at the character sheet, exclamation point character sheet. And the spell sheet, exclamation point spell sheet. As the spin the wheel rules. For every 10 gift subs, we spin the wheel and some random thing happens to Gary. This game has microtransactions. Let's see how you do. A 4 +3 is a 7. Okay. You have successfully gathered some snake steaks. You have snake steaks. 3. 3 of them. Congratulations. He goes up to the tree with his little knife. Cuts off 3 strips. And puts them in his pocket. I mean, I guess, what does Gary do now? We can keep these ones if you want to add one more. Go west, call out for Seg, burn a tree down. We're getting rid of burn a tree down. We don't need to short rest, it's stupid. Call out for Seg, listen to surroundings, talk to a small critter, climb up the snake. Let's have some other options. Eat the steaks is the option, isn't it? Eat the steaks are in there. Figure out which way is west. Any other options? No? Alright. Let's see. Have a wee cry. I like how that's always an option. Have a wee little cry. Why not? Get your votes in. Viewers on TikTok and YouTube, you can only vote by being in the Twitch chat. I don't know how to make it work in all the other ones. You'll just have to watch and enjoy. You'll have to watch and enjoy. Which plays D&D, you mad lad. Hi, dudes. Who's gaming nows? Peoples. Good to see you, old friends. Good D&D content over there as well. Talk to small critter. Talk to a small critter as one. Okay. Now, does Gary... Gary doesn't have the ability to speak to creatures, does he? You can summon a spirit that assumes an animal form. You can use one of your wild shapes, which is a good point actually. We've used one of them. To use the Find Familiar. When you cast it this way, the familiar is a Fae instead of a beast, and the familiar disappears after a number of hours. Speak with small beasts. Through sounds and gestures, you can communicate simple ideas with small or smaller beasts. Okay, you can speak to small animals. So, we've got to see if you can find one. I guess we'll do a nature check. Roll a nature check. Exclamation point, roll d20 in the chat. We take the second roll. You have a +4 for nature. Gary's good at nature-based things. He is a forest gnome druid after all. You're wondering what Gary looks like? He looks like this. This is the character you are playing. Gary. $14. Next roll wins it. We take the second roll every time because the you guys don't stop dead on the first roll, do you? So always take the second roll so we have a fresh full set of 25 rolls for it to pull from. Inakio's rolled out of bed for this. A 19 +4 from his nature. A 23. Okay. Let's see if there's a list of tiny beasts out there. Tiny beasts on a 1d10. 1d10, a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is an owl. An owl flies by. Gary flags it down. He has those like things that they have on the runway at airports and does like a landing gesture because Gary has to speak, communicate with gestures through sounds and gestures. The owl lands in front of Gary and looks up at Gary. What does Gary ask the owl? Which way is west? Cast Beast Bond. Beast Bond is the spell, by the way, that you and the beast can understand telepathic messages and communicate, and the beast becomes your friend. Kind of already have that ability. What the hell happened here? .meme. Motion to snake. That's the same thing, isn't it? What happened here? Let's ask it who. Is there danger nearby? Where is Seg? Treasure? Relationship advice. Okay. Away you go. Cast your votes. Looks like you're going to cast Beast Bond on it. Expending a precious spell slot. Very good. Cast Beast Bond. Alright. Gary spells Beast Bond. Divination 1 action. Touch. One beast you touch that is friendly or charmed by you. Concentration of up to 10 minutes. You establish a telepathic link with one beast you touch that is friendly to you or charmed by you. The spell fails if the beast's intelligence score is 4 or higher. What is an owl? Two. Dang. Enekio is gifting his sub. He wants that wheel spin. Thank you, En. Until the spell ends, which is 10 minutes, the link is active. Through the link, the beast can understand your telepathic messages to it, and it can telepathically communicate simple emotions and concepts back to you. While the link is active, the beast gains advantage on attack rolls against any creature within 5 feet of you. So you've cast that spell. Alright. You cast a Beast Bond on the owl. Touching the owl, you feel... You do the thing that Professor X does, where you touch one hand to your head, and then... Hear my voice. Gary is now able to telepathically communicate with the owl for 10 minutes. So, what does Gary ask the owl? I guess we can keep these. Which way is west? What happened here? Who is the danger nearby? Where is Seg? Treasure, relationship advice. All of the above. because I think you're just gonna ask all these questions. Gary definitely can't ride the owl. The owl is tiny. Gary is small. Gary's like a 10-year-old boy in size and stature, but the owl is an owl. I know you're going to ask all the above. I don't even know why I bothered. Fine. Gary asks, well, what are the questions? Gary then asks the owl all of these questions.
Little owl, which way is west?
Communicating back with basic emotions and ideas, the owl sends a group of images to Gary. You see the owl sort of flying in these, it's kind of like staggered JPEGs of like images. The owl flying past the snake over a little structure that is like a little hut in the swamp, through past a bridge. There's like a little rickety bridge that you would recognize. Gary recognizes the one where he died, back towards the edge of the forest where Gary first entered. The way west is essentially, Gary knows the way west now. It's past behind the snake. Gary says,
What the hell happened here?
the owl shrugs.
The snake. What happened with the snake there? Who killed that?
The owl shrugs again. Gary says,
Who?
and the owl goes, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Aye. Who? Is there danger nearby, little owl?
The owl kind of flaps its wings, flies around your head and lands again. There are images of just all sorts of creatures. There's danger everywhere in the swamp. The swamp is a dangerous place.
Where is Seg? This is what Seg looks like.
And Gary tries to send an image of the kobold. The owl says, well, the owl doesn't say anything. The owl sends a bunch of images back. The little hut behind where the snake is impaled is where Seg is.
Is there any treasure nearby? Things that I can use?
The owl is going to roll a d20. A 2. The owl shrugs. Doesn't know what treasure is.
Little owl, do you have any relationship advice? I may be involved with death. In a strange relationship, I've managed to get death to fall in love with me. We spent some time together next to a campfire in another realm, and then he sent me back.
The owl looks at you, Gary. Confusion spreading across his face.
No, I don't suppose you would know how to have a relationship with death. You've got an int score of 2.
The owl just looks confused. Thank you, Shadow. Okay. What does Gary do now? What does Gary do next? Thank you, Insta Rage. Someone wants to spin the wheel. If we spin the wheel, it's going to be a legendary encounter. Visit the hut. Go west. Kiss the owl. Suggestions from the chat. Go, well, you're in the swamp. You're in the swamp already, Ian. You haven't left the swamp. You landed in the swamp. Find the loot? What do you mean, find the loot? What does that mean? What loot? The bullywugs loot? Or just... Or the loot that the treasure that the owl didn't know where it was? Kyoki has entered the chat. Go searching, I don't know. Find loot? Take feathers from the owl for spell components. Find a snake and eat it, and wear a crocodile hat. Cookie needs to go back to bed. Ask the owl to follow. Oh, snake eater. Maybe I need to go back to bed. I don't feel very well today, boys. I felt worse yesterday. I took yesterday off. I didn't do anything. I haven't planned Cura yet, so I'm going to do that tonight. It's D&D day for me. I spent all day yesterday just laying on my sofa not feeling very good. And I watched a lot of Bleach. And I watched the entirety of Outer Range Season 2. Outer Range is great. I think Season 1 was better. Ask the owl to guide him to a person of interest. I mean, he sort of knows where a person of interest is. Time to visit the hut. Alright. The owl flies away. Gary packs up his things. Checks himself. He's no longer injured. His body hasn't been crushed. He seems to be back to full strength. And he moves past the snake and over to where the hut is. As Gary gets closer, he can hear sort of like... He can hear Seg speaking. In the distance, as Gary trudges through the swamp, he sees a hut with a little bridge leading out across the swamp to a small hut where there are some small fires lit. Inside the hut is a group of bullywugs and Seg. Each of them are dressed in sort of strange robes. As Gary approaches, he hears Seg speaking. My fellow bullywugs, gather close. Hearken to my words, for I bring tidings of great hope and prophecy long whispered among our ancestors. In the murky depths of this beloved swamp of ours, where the mists hang heavy and the shadows whisper of legends, there lives a story of a great gnome. His name, known to many and revered by all, is Gary. But he's not just any gnome, for he is also Muad'Dib. The bullywugs go, Robert, Muad'Dib, Robert. The one who can be in many places at once. He is Lisan al-Gaib. One of the bullywugs goes, Ribbit, Lisan al-Gaib, Ribbit. And they all say, Lisan al-Gaib, Ribbit, Lisan al-Gaib. The voice from the outer world, destined to lead us to a new era. You know the tales, my kin. Gary, our hero, once faced the dreaded serpent Zolom, and it was a battle that shook the very foundations of our world. The sky darkened on that day, the earth trembled, the waters of our swamp roiled with the fury of their clash. Gary fought bravely, his spirit unwavering, even in the face of such terror. But in that fateful duel, Gary fell and was no more. Yet it was not the end. No. It was merely a pause in the grand tapestry of our destiny, for Gary is not gone.
The prophecies tell us that he will return when we need him most. He will rise from the depths, more powerful and more radiant than before. His spirit has watched over us, waiting for the moment to guide us once again. And why, you ask, must he return now? Because the time of Rinda the Calm is upon us. Do not be deceived by his name. This dragon is a force of destruction wrapped in the guise of serenity. Rindor's calm is the stillness before the storm, the quiet that precedes the fury. He seeks to enslave us, to bind us in chains of despair and keep us trapped in this swamp forever. But Gary will come back to us, my friends. With his return, he will bring the strength to defeat Rindor the Calm. He will shatter the chains of oppression and lead us forth from this swamp. We will traverse the great desert, a vast expanse of challenges and trials. But with Gary as our guide, we will not falter.
Gary continues to walk forward.
Imagine, if you will, a land beyond the desert, a land of prosperity, where the waters are pure and the skies are clear. A land where our children can play freely, and our elders can rest without fear. This is the future Gary promises us. This is the destiny that awaits us. So let us prepare, bullywugs of Swamp Glen. Let us ready our hearts and our home for his return. Let us sing the songs of old and remember the deeds of our hero. Let us stand united. For Gary will soon walk among us once more.
Gary steps past all the bullywugs and is now in amongst all the bullywugs. All of the bullywugs are in white robes, carrying a candle. Seg stands before them with a sword on his back, a different sword to what he had before, and a white robe.
And when he does, we will rise. We will follow him out of the swamp, across the great desert, and into a new age of prosperity. The return of Gary, Muad'Dib, and Lisan-al-Gaib is nigh. Let us be ready to embrace our destiny. May the swamp remember, and may we never forget.
Now, I was going to have Gary float in like Homelander, and I'm going to have you roll a performance check for Gary here. Gary's performance is a -1. So let's roll to see what you would have got. For you will indeed have rolled a 1. Here. But let's see what you would have won, shall we? Let's see how this could have gone. As Gary moves through the white-robed bullywugs like the Assassin's Creed. There's only 5 of them. Walking towards Seg as he gives his sermon. Behind Seg is a really crudely drawn tapestry. It looks a bit like Gary, but not really. Gary walks up, steps out among his people, and completely stacks it. Hits a bit of wood that's sticking out from the ground with his foot, and then falls over, face plant in the ground, smacking his nose and taking 1 damage. Bastard! Seg says, "My friend, you've come to join the Church of Gary. Stand before us, friend." Slipped on a banana peel. His feet going ding, 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 in the air, and then lands on the ground and does the Tom and Jerry scream. Gary, with his hand held to his nose, blood running down, looks up. Seg, was that you? Seg's eyes widen. It can't be. It can't be, old friend. Gary says, "Hey, I hit my nose a little bit here." Seg says, "Finally, the day has come. Muad'Dib. Muad'Dib." And he falls to one. He does this thing. You know that thing where they go like with the knife to their forehead? And then falls to one knee. The bullywugs go, ribbit, 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 and they hold a knife to their head and then fall to one knee. Gary rises in front of them, blood running down his face. Gary looks around and says, "What's going on, Seg? I don't understand." "Where have you been, Gary? We've been waiting for you. For the blessed day of your return." Gary says, "How long have I been away, Seg?" And Seg says, "It's been 9 years." Gary's face. It does the dolly zoom past him as the swamp expands. 9 years. What's happened in that time, Seg? Seg says, "Well, after you vanished, I had a fight with some bullywugs. The snake, I had to kill it in your name. I had to reap vengeance. I then spent years scouring the swamp for you, for your body, for any trace of you, but I couldn't find you, and that's when I knew you was coming back. I knew it deep in my heart. I started gathering alliances, bullywugs. I started to tell them about the story of Gary. Soon, a great many people," you gesture to the 5 people, "joined us. We have been waiting for your return, for the day you will lead us out of the swamp, and you will destroy Rindor the Calm." Rindor the Calm? You mean the giant white dragon? Yeah, you're gonna kill him, right? You're gonna go and kill Rindor the Calm today? Right now? That's what I've been promising all these people that you're gonna do when you come back. So I didn't have to do it myself. What? I said that, are you gonna go and do it? Are you gonna go and kill Rindor the Calm? How does Gary respond? Are you gonna go and kill Rindor the Calm? We're gonna put yes and no, and then we're gonna take some options. Rindor the Calm is a fucking white dragon. Alright, run away. Run away from responsibilities. Rindor, like Judge Rinder. Let my nose stop bleeding first. Go west. Oh, he's already dead. Killed him last Tuesday. Yes, if I die again, I'll be reunited with my one true love. Change the subject to something random. The choice is yours. Thank you for the gift subs, everyone. I appreciate it. This is now currently the only thing paying my rent. If we continue to play Twitch plays D&D on a Sunday, and you subscribe purely to spin the wheel, I don't have to ask you during the week, and we can just enjoy Cyberpunk without me having to monetize everything. So I appreciate the gift subs. Of course, spinning the wheel does net you with some prizes. The options are encounter, potion, item, magic item, boss battle. Next roll being a natural 20, next roll being a natural 1. It could be a trap. You could teleport. You could suddenly get 25% of your maximum XP. A wild magic surge could happen. You could apply a condition. Cursed. A Deus Ex Machina could happen. That could be in the form of anything, by the way. In combat, it exploded the last thing you were fighting, but it could just be that something incredible happens. For example, if a Deus Ex Machina were to happen right now, it might be that the corpse of Rindor the Calm floats up by pure chance against the side of this this hut. You can get a full heal and you can recover all of your spell slots. Thank you, Phil. All right, let's see here. You want to change the subject to something random. Okay. Change the subject to... Suggestions in the chat, please. Plum Rug, thank you for the gift sub. I appreciate it. Every wheel spin guarantees you and gets you closer to the guarantee of another episode of this. Because I will stop doing it. It's pure effort. It's fun, but it is effort. There is a bigger danger in the west. The weather. Swamp ass. Where can I get some ale? Did anyone see that last Bullywug game? Oh wait. I need another screen, by the way, and I don't know where to put it. Thank you, Chicklet. Alright, I guess that's it. Where you go. Slightly too late, Shadow, sorry. Looks like he's going to be changing the subject to corned beef. Corned beef. What do you say? Are we going to kill Rindor the Calm today? Gary. Why is he Scottish? We're going to go and kill him today, Gary. Oh. May I? Well, oh, let me tell you, I could do with some corned beef. Aye. I could really do with some corned beef. Have you got any, Seg? Corned beef, fella? What you on about? No, we ain't got. Has anyone got any corned beef? Corned beef. Corned beef? I don't even know what that is. Hey, oh, you've not got any? Oh, if only we had some corned beef. That'd be really. Oh, that'd be great. If we had some corned beef. Wouldn't it? Yeah, I suppose it would. Alright. Okay. I'm gonna need a persuasion check from Gary, please. Roll 20. Roll d20. You have a -1 to your persuasion check. And this is to see if Seg completely forgets about defeating the dragon and instead decides to go on a quest for corned beef and change the entire religion. Right, next roll is the one we're taking. You have a -1 to this roll. Let's see what you get, Gary. Exclamation point roll d20 in the Twitch chat. You take the second roll every time. A 7, a 6. Seg says, I don't know about this corn. I don't know about this corned beef, Gary. I don't know about Rindor. Are you gonna go and take care of Rindor, the calm? I've been promising him. I said that you were the greatest. How does Gary respond? It didn't work. How does Gary respond? You failed. You failed to distract him with corned beef. Rindor can only fall once we slayed the humans. I think it's spelled with a Y. Maybe I'm not the Muad'Dib. Agreed to take care of the dragon, then run away. Ask what Gary gets if he rids the world of the dragon. Just run away. He was dead for 9 years, Gabriel. Yes, but we need to unite all of the races in the forest to slay him. That's a fucking long-term campaign goal. Rindor, right, sure thing, totally on top of it. Let's celebrate our reunion eating snake steaks. Alright, the choice is yours, chat. Get your head in the game. Please, Gary. Gabriel. Gary. How dare you stand where he stood. Far too late, Liam. Liam sitting there needs to refresh the screen or something, the stream or something. There's a 10-minute delay. Area in the garden. Yes, but we need to reunite all of the races in this forest to slay him. Aye, but we need to reunite all the races in the forest to slay Rindor the Calm. Reunite all the races in the forest? Well, there's got to be hundreds of them. Thousands. It's a swamp. What do you mean? Well, we gotta get everyone together, right? We gotta get all the races together to fight Rindor. Together. Not just... we gotta get everyone in... He's doing the Trump thing with his hands. We gotta get everyone together. Make the swamp great again. And then we can defeat Rindor. Right. Okay. Well, we got 5 bullywugs. What other races are in the swamp? Let's find out. What D&D swamp races are there? Lizard folk, hobgoblins, orcs, gnolls. This is bad. They're all evil. Okay, so there are bullywugs, lizard folk. You're telling me you gotta get the bullywugs, the lizard folk, the hobgoblins, orcs, gnolls, and trolls. There's like a look on Gary's face like, ah, shit. Hey. That's what we gotta do. Get them all to work together. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do that, Gary. I think that's a tall order. I mean, I don't even know where they all are, but I do know that all of those things will try and eat me. Right. So... Alright then. Okay, I mean... He says we gotta unite all of the peoples of the swamp together, and then we can take on Rindor as a united swamp. Alright then, Gary. What's our first move? How does Gary respond? What's our first move? How does Gary respond? Go recruit the orcs. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. Go recruit the lizard folk. Go recruit the hobgoblins. Go recruit the gnolls. Go recruit the trolls. And then other options. Use the voice. Go west. Alright. Fine. Run away. You know what? Hang on. Run away. Run away is now option. Now an option. The choice is yours. You are Gary. Become Gary. Become Muad'Dib. Remember, you can spin the wheel. Maybe you'll teleport somewhere. Maybe a Deus Ex Machina will happen. A Deus Ex Machina would be nice here, wouldn't it? If you spin the wheel and get Deus Ex Machina, it will be the corpse of Rindor the Calm that floats up against the side of the hut. That's the Deus Ex Machina here. Thank you so much, Anonymous. Close. What is that? One more? Can't see very well anymore. Not because I can't see very well anymore, but because my display thing is much smaller because it shows me the horizontal and the vertical, so I can't really see any detail anymore. Go and recruit the lizard folk is the plan. Okay. Who's that one? Hey, that'll do it. That'll do it. What does that say? God damn it, I can't read it. Oh, full heal. You regain 1 HP. Gary stands before them. He turns to the flock. And his nose, which is all broken and bleeding, heals in front of them. One of the bullywugs goes, "Listen, Algae! Listen, Algae!" And all the frogs start going, "Robert, listen, Algae, Robert, listen, Algae. Listen, Algae, I told you, didn't I? What did I tell you, boy? He's divine. He's fucking divine." You heal one You heal 1 HP. Gary then turns to Seg and says, "Right, we start with the lizard folk. Where are they?" Let's see if Seg knows where they are. Seg is getting an upgrade. We're going to give Seg an upgrade here. We're going to upgrade his HP. 2d6 plus 2, even though it says minus. He has another 8 HP. So he's now got 13 HP. Still not great. And he has a sword. Seg has a +1 longsword that he uses. We could give him a shield, actually, couldn't we? Let's give him a shield. Seg has the exact sword from Sword Art Online. Kirito's sword. With the weird little handle thing going on. This is the sword that he wields. Okay. And he has a shield as well, which ups his AC. Okay. Really, this needs to be edited to be Seg as well. In case normal kobolds show up. Alright, let's see if Seg knows where they are. Int. An 8. I've got no idea where the lizard folk are. Any of you lot know where the lizard folk is? The bullywugs just stare at him. Their eyes completely glazed over. They have no soul. They have no intelligence. They might be androids that have been created and skinned as bullywugs. Does Gary know where the lizard folk are? This would be a survival check from Gary, please. That's you, chat. Start rolling. You have a +3 to survival to see if Gary knows where the lizard folk are. What do we got? +3 to this roll. Let's see how you do. Still going. We might have to knock it down, huh? I'll knock the rolls down next week, unless people actually return. We will know next week whether it was a holiday or whether people just are done and they don't want to play this anymore and we have to go back to... Wow, a 20. Damn. Damn.
Knowledge.
Gary does know. Gary does know. Gary knows everything about the Lizard Folk village. Gary says, I know. I know all about the Lizard Folk of this here swamp. It will not be the first time, but it will be the last that I deal with them. He steps up onto the platform that Sig was standing on. Together, we will travel to the village of Krasukar. Deep within the fetid heart of this marsh, where the air is thick with the scent of decay, and the waters murky and treacherous, lies the lizard folk village of Krasukar. This village is hidden amidst the dense mangroves and towering cypress trees. Its location known only to those who serve the White Dragon, Rindor the Calm, and me. The settlement is through the vines to the north. But we must beware of the quicksand. It'll suck you up, and it'll suck you off dead. When we get there, you'll know it. Crude huts, made from reeds, mud, and the bones of their prey. He starts doing that thing where he draws a map in the sand that is now inexplicable. He's drawing a thing with mud on the ground with a mud and a stick, and like pointing out the thing. There's a large central clearing here. That's the hub of the village. It's dominated by a large grotesque altar, where offerings are made to Rindor the Calm. You have to understand the lizard folk here. Barbaric. Utterly devoted to their dragon. Dark green and black scales. Their eyes gleam with malevolent intelligence. They're organized. The strongest and most cunning serving as shaman and chieftains. We must beware Vosk, the blood scale. He is the chieftain of Krasukar. Brutal, unwavering in his loyalty to Rindor. A massive scarred lizard with a keen tactical mind. And Zethra, the frost tongue, the village shaman. A mystic who claims commune directly with Rindor. Powerful ice magic. And leader of their rituals. If we can get in there and we can take them out, the lizard folk will follow us. They will join us. What say you, Seg? Bullywugs. Let us go to Krasuk. Krasukar. Let us take down Rindor. One lizard folk at a time. And then Gary realizes what he said. Oh shit, what have I done? I've gotten swept up in my own bullshit. I've gotten swept up in my own shite. Yeah, aye, let's go. Okay. What does Gary do now? What does Gary do now? Go west. North. The Lizard Folk Village. Tell Seg he will meet him there. Run away. Inspect hut for loot. Peg Seg, I thought that said. Pet Seg. Training montage for his followers. Salva a snake. Salvage. A snake tooth from the Zolom. For a necklace that shows we mean business. Oh, it's begun. God damn it. For fuck's sake, it has to be the one that was completely, massively spelt incorrectly. God damn you. Okay, anything else? Guess not. Here we go. The choice is yours. Let's see. Give you 1 minute to vote. What was your intent when making Seg? Everything is completely randomized. Seg was randomly created last week. You'll have to go back and watch the previous VODs. This is episode 3 of The Legend of Gary. Right, salvage a snake tooth from the Zolom. Okay. Gary wanders away from the group, back over to where the giant snake is. I'm going to need a survival check from you all to see if you can pull a tooth from the Zolom. Again, you have a +3 to survival. Exclamation point. Roll D20 in the chat. To get involved. 12, we take the second roll. We take the second roll. We could knock it down from 25 after this, couldn't we? I think it's quite easily done, but I'm scared it'll break the bot permanently. A 16 +3 is a 19. Gary climbs up the snake. At the top of the sort of snake and tree area, he sticks his dagger in behind one of the teeth and pops one out grabbing it, climbing back down. He... What were you trying to do? Fashion a fucking necklace? Fashion... He ties a little bit of string to it. And ties it around his neck. Gary now has a snake tooth, a Zolom tooth necklace. It is definitely not a +2 protection snake tooth necklace. I assume this is to help intimidate the lizard folk when you get there, which you will all forget. Okay. You now have a necklace. You wanted it, you got it. What does Gary do now? I'll take 2 more options from the chat. We can keep these ones. Jesus. Chihuahua-san. Hey. Demi. Chihuahua-san. Forbidden behavior. It's supposed to be a secret. I don't want to get in trouble for having a dog in the apartment for 10 days. Alright, what does, nothing? No options, okay. No one's here. Oh, give segment, necklace missed it. Too late. He's wearing it now. Gary is wearing it to show dominance. Alright. Head north to the lizard folk village. Okay. One second. Let's drum up some artwork. Shall we? Out of nowhere. As you head a very dangerous time to be pulling in a wheel spin, maybe. To the lizard folk village. Located north of the hut that you're in. You and the group start moving through the swamp, sloshing through the horrible murky undergrowth. Now I believe that there needs to be a dexterity check of some sort that needs to be made. So start rolling me. No, you know what? We'll do a survival check. Roll d20s to see if you can spot the dangers. No, you know what? We'll do a perception. We'll do perception check. It's the same roll, +3. Tell me when we get it, Gabe or N. I'm just very quickly fashioning an entire village out of nothing. A 14 plus 3, pretty high. It's pretty good. You recognize thorns, a deep and huge amount of thorn bushes. In order to make it through them, because you're aware of them, you'll have advantage on this check. You will need to make an acrobatics check to get through them. You have a +1. We take the second and third rolls. Away you go. While I fashion an entire building, an entire village. Suddenly, out of nothing. The second and third rolls, you take the higher of the two. And then tell me which it is. And in that time, I will have created an entire village. He's done it. A 14 and a 17. +3. No, +1. I think that means you make it through the thorns very easily. You're able to sort of determine where these thorn bushes are and where the worst parts are. Being a gnome, you can easily dip underneath and crawl through the varying little areas that will allow you to pathfind, with Seg following you through and the white-robed bullywugs following you as well. Now, I'm going to need another perception check to see if Gary can see the quicksand. Perception is a +3. One more +3. Another perception check. An 18? Or is that the first one? It's the first one. I think I can knock the amount you need to roll down. Let's hope it doesn't break the bot today. After this one. Since no one is here today. Dude, so long. What's long? Or are you just saying goodbye? Dude, so long. And then vanishes immediately. Does the thing where it disappear. A 10. +3, a 13. That's enough to spot the quicksand. Gary starts ushering the bullywugs and and Seg around the quicksand areas, bringing them to the lizardfolk village of Krasukar. Ahead of Gary, there is a sort of swampy area with a little sort of like a couple of shoddy little docks, and then there's a sort of a mound of earth that comes up out of the swamp, on which there are lots of little huts. At the center of all of these huts, at the center of this area, is a large altar that is clearly for throwing ritualistic offerings to Rindor. Let's roll a D3. I've got 3 story hooks here, and we're going to see which one comes up. Two. On the altar. You know what? Let's see. Gary notices the Frostbane amulet. An ancient and powerful artifact said to be crafted by a long-forgotten civilization that once thrived here in the marsh. He's saying this to Seg. Do you see that there? That's the Frostbane amulet. The amulet is made of a rare dark metal that seems to absorb light. It's adorned with little intricate runes that glow with blue light. At its center is a perfectly cut sapphire that radiates a palpable coldness. If we can get a hold of that amulet, it'll help us in the fight against Rindor. This amulet weakens ice-based magic to those who wear it. But on top of that, it emits a resonant frequency that disrupts Rindor's natural aura, causing him to lose his legendary resistance and making him vulnerable to attacks. Moving around the village are several lizard folk. Now, lizard folk are pretty nasty. In all my dealings with the lizard folk, I was never able to tell what they were thinking. Their reptilian eyes belayed no hint of their intentions. I gave them supplies, they gave me the willies. A merchant's account of his experience with the lizard folk tribes of Lizard Marsh. Lizard folk are primitive reptilian humanoids that lurk in the swamps and jungles of the world. Their hut villages thrive in forbidding grottos, half-sunken ruins and watery caverns. Territorial xenophobes. Lizard folk deal and trade with other races only rarely. They're territorial, they use camouflage scouts to guard the perimeter of their domain. When unwelcome visitors are detected, they send a hunting band to harass or drive them off. Lizard folk are nasty. One of the lizard folk is particularly large. A big scarred fella. Exclamation point fella. And Gary says to Seg,
Like Svorsk, the blood scale they call him. Nasty piece of work. Chieftain.
sitting next to the altar, stirring a big old cauldron filled with what looks like flesh and blood inside, is a lizard folk kind of witch looking type voodoo doctor situation.
That's Zethra. A mystic.
It's now time to find out. What does Gary do? What would you like Gary to do? Strut in with determination. Tell Seg a random fact. Is that what you want? Convert the lizards to the Church of Gary. Ask to speak to the manager. Shapeshift into an owl and fly over to the amulet. Ask to learn which spells. Approach meekly, meaning no harm. Take some shots with the lizard people. Gary cannot turn into a pseudo-dragon. A pseudo-dragon is a dragon, and Gary can only turn into beasts. So, like, normal animals, basically. And only ones that are CR 1/4 and under, and that he's met before. Shapeshift into an owl and fly over to the amulet. Gary turns to Seg and says,
Don't worry, I got this.
using his second shapeshift of the day, he wild shapes bullywugs.
Muad'Dib. Listen, I'll go.
Seg looks down and says,
Oh, what? I didn't know you could turn into animals.
Gary looks up at him with an absolutely grotesque half owl, half gnome face and says,
Hey, I can. However, even though the Hikir was trying so hard to absolutely, completely try and win D&D and isn't playing this in the spirit of the game at all, Mr. Know-It-All in the chat room doesn't realise that you can't turn into something with a flying speed.
And then the spell breaks and Gary turns back into a gnome. You can't turn into something with a flying or a swimming speed until you are level 4. Then you can turn into something with a swimming speed, and then level 8 you can turn into stuff that can fly. I highly recommend you stop listening to Hikir. Seg says,
Well, that didn't work.
No, I haven't quite got the hang of it yet. A true DM's response. Don't blame me, blame Hikir. Trying to do the absolute most, like... I know exactly... Hikir's answers are always just like... trying to win D&D, you know? And that's what you get. That's what those players get. You know, the worst player at the table. So I guess, what does Gary do next? I'll take another option. Thank you, Keeper. Die. You can always spin the wheel. The Deus Ex Machina here being that the two leaders of the lizard folk suddenly die. The choice is yours. Strutting with determination. Okay. Gary says,
Follow my lead.
puffs himself up and starts walking towards the lizard folk village. Behind him, Seg just shrugs at the others and starts following as well. The bullywugs follow in behind him. They form a single file line of people strutting in. They walk straight across the water. You see lizard folk go, knack, 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 knack. They all start moving around, grabbing weapons, rushing about ahead and taking up a line on the edge of the water in front of all of their huts and their homes. Gary and the line of Gary's followers start walking forward. The lizard folk is like shouting at you. He's furious. There are 2 or 3 of them that are just shouting at you right now. You continue to strut forward, but what do you do? Does Gary speak lizard folk? He almost definitely doesn't. Gnomish, Druidic, and Common. Strutting forward across the water, the lizard folk shouting at you. What would you like to do? Ask for an audience with the leader. Flip them off. Shout back. Intimidate. Stick with a white cloth. Hold frame? What the fuck are you talking about? What does that mean? Try and imitate their language randomly. Do a little dance. Do a little dance. Okay. This is a performance check. -1 to your performance check. Start rolling. Let's see how this goes for you. Okay, the second roll on your performance check. Everyone's strutting across the swamp towards the homes of these lizard folk. They're shouting at you, fury on their faces. 5 bullywugs, a kobold, and a gnome, walking in single file. 6 of them in white robes, led by Gary. When Gary suddenly stops and decides to do a little dance. Let's see how this goes for him. Stop. Hammer time. Alright, next roll. Keep rolling. A 15. -1 is a 14. You know what we need, right? You know what we need. Hold on. Damn it, where is it? Gary starts doing a little dance. The lizard folk start looking really confused. And that's when one of them launches a spear. Woof! It launches over the top of Gary. Gary's in a little dance. Woof! And you hear... One of the bullywugs gets a spear through its eye. Is launched backwards and does that thing in video games where it pins them against a tree. I mean, obviously they're attacking you. I don't know. I don't know why you thought that walking towards them and doing a little dance would do anything less than cause them to immediately attack. Now, what we have here is a lizard folk chieftain, a lizard folk shaman, and then a lot of lizard folk. Red, blue, green, purple, orange, yellow, and you know what? Just because there's another one. Pink. A perfect line of lizard folk versus... Where are my boys? The gang. This one's dead. Pinned to a tree back here. The rest are in a line. Gary. Red, blue, green, orange. You now need a Deus Ex Machina. Was it a 10? I didn't even look properly. A trap. You activate a trap. As this spear launches over the top, spears this bullywug through the eye. Suddenly, the ground underneath you opens up. Another spin for a Deus Ex Machina. What does that say? Newag! What happens? What's the Deus Ex? What's the Deus Ex? The floor opens up underneath you. A bunch of these motherfuckers are above you. I can't believe that you got the Deus Ex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 possible options, and they're weighted differently. What do you think happens? My first instinct was that the lizard folk leaders immediately have heart attacks and die. Floor opens to an ally hideout. What else? Unbelievable. Death appears. And commands the lizard folk. A monster was stuck in a trap who's an enemy to the lizards. They free the lost hero of the lizard folk who have been unwittingly trapped on his own for a decade. Gary uses the voice that will help us in the fight against Rindor. You get teleported away by a powerful being. Seg evolves and fireballs at them. The choice is yours. Zolom Tooth morphs is pretty good too. Seg evolves into a Charmeleon. Death appears. Is what you have chosen. This is what you see. The fucking Skull Knight from Berserk. Trap opens up, and as the legs of Gary and of Seg and of the Bullywugs, the panic, but they don't seem to fall. Suspended in midair, floating. A giant horse with a Skull Knight mounted figure on a skeletal horse appears riding in behind where the lizard folk are. Death. How did death sound? What was the parasite voice?
The parasite.
Death says,
Lead me, lizard folk. You witness before you, Gary Lisan al-Gaib. He is Muad'Dib. You will follow him. This is the will of death.
Death then simply closes his fist. The shaman and the chieftain go, and you see a red orb pulled from them, an arcane energy pulled towards Death. Death vanishes, but also does like a little wink kind of towards Gary with a little like pixelated heart that comes up. The shaman and the chieftain fall dead. The lizard folk turn. Knock, knock, knock. Knock, 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 they say to each other. Knock, knock. Listen, Al-Gaib. Knock, knock. Listen, Al-Gaib. Knock, knock, Muad'Dib. Knock, knock, Muad'Dib. And they fall to one knee and do the thing with the sword. Gary, Seg, and the Bullywogs are all dangling on the side of a thing. They look down, and underneath them is a spike trap. Seg pulls himself up. The Bullywogs each pull themselves up. It's now time for Gary to do the same. Give me an athletics check, please. Roll d20. You have a -2 to athletics here. You've also gained 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lizard folk followers. And are the new chieftain of... What the fuck is this place called? Krasukar. Unbelievable Deus Ex spin from New Urg there. Anyone want to do one last spin? One last spin for the road? Is that it? The 14? Yeah. A 14 minus 2. Right? 12. Gary's able to lift himself up. You have to beat a 10. Gary pulls himself up and climbs up into the village. The lizard folk standing at the altar with Seg. The Bullywogs. The lizard folk who are all licking their lips at the Bullywogs gather round. Two giant... There are lots of corpses. The Bullywog, the Shaman, and the Chieftain are dragged into the center of the town as well. Gary stands before the lizard folk and the Bullywogs. If we do another wheel spin, I'll have Gary give a speech. What's the place called? Krasukar. I've got to write that down. Almost. Here we go. What does the wild magic of the world do? Can we use it somehow? So that will be a D10,000 roll and some random effect will happen. Just a random... There's literally... I have a list of 10,000 stuff that could possibly happen. I think it's 10,000. Might be 1,000, but I think it's 10. Every session has become Bannerlord. It's absolutely insane how you've managed to get this many followers. Alright, I'll give you the speech anyway. Gary climbs up in front of... on the altar. The altar to Rindor. Seg is moving about the crowd handing out white robes. He has them. He got loads made up. The lizard folk are putting on the white robes of the Church of Gary as they join. And Gary says, "My fellow warriors of Krasukar, lend me your ears and hear my words. For today marks the dawn of a new era. I stand before you not as a gnome, but as your chieftain, Lisan al-Gaib." Lisan al-Gaib, Lisan al-Gaib. Knock, knock. Blah, 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 blah. The one you know as Muad'Dib. Muad'Dib, ribbit. Muad'Dib. Knock, knock. I am Gary, and I have come to lead you out of the shadows and into the light of a new destiny. For too long we have lived under the icy claw of Rindor the Calm. Gary gestures to a sort of symbolic thing on the podium that suggests, you know, is in the shape of Rindor the Calm. We have worshipped him, feared him, and sacrificed our kin to his insatiable hunger. No more. Rindor's reign of terror ends now. I see the strength in each of you, Seg, handing out robes as they all look up at Gary. The fire that burns in your hearts. Together, we shall rise and confront the dragon that has kept us chained in this swamp. Gary raises up, does the sword thing. The thing with the sword to the forehead that they do. We are not mere slaves, we are warriors. Our claws are sharp, our minds keen, and our spirits unbreakable. Rindor believes himself invincible, but he underestimates the power of unity and the will of a people determined to reclaim their freedom. With this, Gary picks up the Frostbane amulet. The Frostbane amulet, an artifact of great power. We shall strip Rindor of his strength and bring him to his knees. This has been the key to your salvation all this time. He puts the amulet in his back pocket. The little thing, a little thing comes up in the top left that says like item acquired, you know. Might be this button. Our journey does not end with Rindor. Beyond this swamp lies a vast desert, a sea of sand that stretches to the horizon. We will cross it together. Our purpose unyielding. On the other side, we will face the Magitech holders, those who wield the technology and the magic that has oppressed us for generations. The world beyond the desert is ripe for the taking. They all start going fucking crazy. Lisan al-Gaib, Lisan al-Gaib, putting the thing to the sword to their head. Muad'Dib, knock, 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 ribbit, ribbit. The Magitech holders believe themselves to be the rightful rulers, but they have grown complacent. They do not expect the rise of lizard folk, the rise of bullywugs, the rise of the swamp. Led by a chieftain who knows their weakness, who has faced greater trials and emerged victorious. Lisan al-Gaib, Lisan al-Gaib. We will storm their cities, dismantle their constructs, and claim their power as our own. We will reshape this world in our image.
A world where the strong thrive and the weak are brought to heel.
Seg kind of looks up at him.
A world under my leadership. Krasukar will become more than just a village. It will become a symbol of defiance and strength.
Listen, Al-Gaib! Listen, Al-Gaib! Seg looks up. A slight look of fear across his face.
Prepare yourselves, my kin. Sharpen your weapons, harden your hearts, and ready your spirits. The time of waiting is over. The era of the lizard folk begins now. Together we will defeat Rindor and the Calm, and we will cross the great desert, then conquer the Magitek holders. We will claim the world as our own. Follow me, and I promise you victory, glory, and a future where the lizard folk and Bullywug reign supreme.
He lifts his hand up, the sword thing to his head. All the lizard folk and the bullywugs do it as well. Gary's eyes are usually pink, turn red.
Onward to victory and beyond. Muad'Dib, listen Al-Gaib. Muad'Dib, listen Al-Gaib.
For 2 more gift subs, we can spin the wheel for one last time. Or we end the session there. The choice is yours. Lots has happened here in this session. Lots has happened in this session. I shall have to write the notes. That'll do. Let's do one last wheel spin. The hell does that say? A potion. Okay, chat. Roll me a d20. You get a random potion. Next roll, not the 2. What does Gary get? An 18. Appearing in Gary's pocket is an inhaler. A modern day inhaler. Which allows you to cast a random cantrip. I guess you just learn a random cantrip, okay. D&D cantrips. Cantrips. God, how many are there going to be? So many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 20, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 45. $1D 45. 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You already have that one, so let's do it again. It was control flames. 39. Which is this one, Thaumaturgy. Does he have that too? No. You have learned Thaumaturgy. For giving such a rousing speech. You know that thing that comes up at the where it says like, yeah, it's Jet from Fallout. The thing of like 10 out of 10 people were entertained. Death watching on from beyond. You've learned thaumaturgy. You manifest a minor wonder, a sign of supernatural power within range. You create one of the following magical effects. Your voice booms up to 3 times as loud as normal for 1 minute. You can cause flames to flicker, brighten, dim, or change colour for 1 minute. You cause harmless tremors in the ground for 1 minute. You create instantaneous sound that originates from a point of your choice within range, such as a rumble of thunder, the cry of a raven, or ominous whispers. You instantly cause an unlocked door or window to fly open or slam shut. You alter the appearance of your eyes for 1 minute. That explains why his eyes turned red. If you're not that he's actually secretly becoming evil. If you cast this spell multiple times, you can have up to 3 of its 1 minute effects active at any time. He's gained the voice. He has gained the voice. Incredible work, ladies and gentlemen. That brings us to the very end of today's session of The Legend of Gary. And congratulations. You've... Unbelievable story so far. You've gained an army of lizard folk, an army of bullywugs. You're now the leader of a cult. And truly, the Deus Ex Machina, I think, probably saved you from this going very differently. But, impressive work. Well done. You can tune in next week, next Sunday, for another episode of Twitch Plays D&D. We do this every Sunday until people stop watching, which is today. Sundays at 2 p.m. UK time. That's 9 a.m. Eastern USA. I don't know what it is anywhere else in the world. Alternatively, you can watch this on the VODs. I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to play Cyberpunk 2077 tomorrow at the same time. And I'll probably return to Wild RP tomorrow night, but I haven't sorted it out yet because I don't feel too well. So I'm just taking it easy. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you had fun. The Legend of Gary continues next time. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.